morning.
Woohoo! We're live.
Are we live? Come on. Usually it takes a hot
Yeah,
second.
it takes a couple of minutes for you start seeing people on Facebook.
All right, hey Hannah, can you give me a thumbs up if we're showing up on your side? Yes, we are live. All right.
All right, we're ready.
Yes. Woo! Guys, welcome to the Greatness Machine. I'm your host, Darius Mirshahzadeh, and today we have a special guest for you. I didn't think I'd be able to get Daniel to come on my show, but that just shows you how much pull I have. I got a special guest, my buddy, my friend, mi compadre, Daniel Marcos of the Growth Institute. Welcome to the show, Daniel.
How are you? Good. Super happy to be here, Darius. Thank you.
I'm really, really stoked to have you here. So look, the format of the show is simple. We are bringing together change makers from all over the world to talk about their passions and how they're creating greatness in the world. And I just want to remind you guys of a couple things. First of all, this is live streaming. We're live. There's no do-overs here. Start a watch party. Ask us questions. I have my team, Hannah, standing by. She's going to be pumping questions over to me and Daniel. So right now you have one of the greatest thought leaders right now that I consider in the world of entrepreneurial thought leadership, Daniel Marcus. And we got him here for just under a half an hour. So we got to make it count. So whatever questions you have, you got the man here to talk to you about it. So without further ado, Daniel, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Super, super happy to be here.
Man, I'm so stoked to have you here, brother. If you don't mind, I'd like to kind of give the audience a little bit of background on you. Does that work for you?
Yeah, of course, please.
So you guys, Daniel, he's the co-founder and CEO of the Growth Institute. So I'm reading my notes. He's the leading the Growth Institute is the leading online executive education company. He's a keynote speaker and CEO coach, and he's on a mission to help 1 million entrepreneurs. As a serial entrepreneur, Daniel quickly realized that CEOs are often the bottleneck of their company. He's on a mission to give executives the support and methodologies that he wishes he had in his entrepreneurial journey, being a good leader, successfully scaling companies, and maintaining a high quality of life. And I'm telling you guys right now, I got the pleasure of meeting Daniel about 3.5 years ago at this amazing program at MIT called Gathering Titans. And I'll tell you, I feel very special to have you here. So thank you for coming, my friend. This has been it's an honor to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So if you wouldn't mind, go for it, man.
No. What are we going to talk about? What's
I usually start with yoga laughs, but I think we're short on time.
Right.
So let's jump. You want to do a yoga laugh?
Let's go into the subject.
I'll make you do a real laugh. Now, would you mind giving our audience just a little bit of background? What got you to here in your journey so far?
So, being an entrepreneur for 20 years, I've had companies in Mexico, Chile, Argentina, the US, and Canada. Mm-hmm. And I haven't had a paycheck in over 20 years. And I quickly had to realize how to really become an entrepreneur and really run a company and grow a company. And then I had a really big success in my early career. We sold a company with 1,200 employees in just under 4 years. Wow. And then the second one was a disaster. In around 4 years, 120 employees more or less. Yeah. And I was shut down in a day. I had to fire everyone in a week. And we went under and we lost all our capital. And then we end up in a lot of debt after that. Mm-hmm. And then I became a CEO coach after that. And I've been coaching CEOs for 11 years on two things, really. How to scale their impact and how to reduce the drama of the operation.
Nice.
Mostly implementing scaling up as the base, but helping with a lot with mindset and tools and books and other things. And then 6 years ago, we created Growth Institute with Vern. Yeah. I was traveling all over the world with a bag full of books giving away to all my clients, and they didn't read them. So I said, hey guys, I'm traveling all over with books and then you don't read them. And they said, yeah, but if you could have it in video or in audio, I will go through the book. And I said, great, I'm going to get them in video. Nice. So I began chasing the books that I wanted, the thought leaders that wrote the books that I wanted, and bringing them on video. Today we have a platform with over 100 courses, 80 or so thought leaders, people that write books aiming to mid-market companies or helping mid-market companies. And we've trained over 50,000 executives from around 10,000 companies in 68 countries of the world. Wow. So we had paid students in 68 countries of the world.
That's awesome, man. And I'll tell you, I've been on the receiving end of that. I've used the Growth Institute, my own business, and I loved it. And it was such an amazing tool. I was scaling up client with, Cheryl Beth Kukler. She was my coach.
Yep.
And so she hooked us up, and so I got to use your services. And I'll tell you, man, and I know you have other things as well as part of the Growth Institute, but I was super impressed. And it was funny, like right when I got to MIT, I'm like, oh, I know your platform. Dude, I love your platform. It's incredible, man. So it's so cool. So you've gotten to connect with all these different authors and thought leaders and really get to explore their work in a different way to promote it through videos. And I know that's how I consumed it. One of the first ones we did was actually Turn This Ship Around,
Yep.
which was really cool. And I just thought that was such a cool way to really get information out. To your point, some people love to read, but a lot of people, they want to get their content in different forms. I mean, why do you think that is? It's just out of like being busy?
So we all have different ways of learning, but at the Growth Institute, more important than just the videos is we do, I think, two things that go with the learning. So as an example, on the class that you took, you got the videos from the thought leader, right, and then you have group coaching calls. In this case, you was with the same thought leader. He walked you through the process of how to implement the methodology.
Right.
And now we've been growing a lot. Now our community is a really big community. And now we help the community go through process together. So let me give you an idea. We are running a scaling up class today. It's been our biggest class yet. 97 companies.
Wow.
With between 3 to 5 employees per company. Wow. So we have almost 400 executives going through the class at the same time. So we put them on certain community platforms, and they go through a process of implementing scaling up all together.
Wow.
So every day you probably got 40 or 50 chats and comments and sending ideas and recording stuff in their company and sending. So it's more than just learning a course. It's going through a community together, improving a process or a system or something in your company all together. And people said, hey, Daniel, the videos are great. The coaching calls are awesome because the coach kind of guide us through a process of implementation.
Yeah.
But what really makes the glue of the class is the community. Because I'm going through, with 97 other companies around the world, going through the same transformation process in my company, like they're going through. And whenever we're implementing, we get stuck, something happens, whatever, we help each other and we go through the process together. And that's what really makes Growth Institute unique. And that's my big thing against the MOOCs. As an example, and this is numbers of online education. When someone buys a course, the percentage of people that goes through the end of the course online is 15%.
15%?
15, very low. The MOOCs, it's less than 4%, the MOOCs.
Wow.
There's some MOOCs that get less than 1% completion rate. At Growth Institute, we get around 80% completion rate.
Wow.
The class that we have today, 97 companies, we always give 30 days money back guarantee. No questions asked. If in the first 30 days of the class you say, hey, you know what? I was not happy. This is not for me. I didn't have time. My dog died and I was too depressed. We'll give your money back without asking.
Nice.
We had 0 refunds on the class.
Oh,
so we had no complaints in the first month of operation.
That's awesome.
So that really proves that it's not about the learning. It's all about going through a process together with a community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're nailing it. And I kind of got into a lot of this stuff pre this online learning. Like I did it the hard way, right? Like a lot of us, where I bought the book for scaling up and then tried it by myself and then hired the coach. And this is, over a decade ago, right? And scaling up, I think, is a great example of this because it is a very robust process, right? And it really having that community to do trial and error with, I see that as really important because, to your point, like people want to know that people are struggling like they are, and they want to build that sense of community. So my question for you is, what do you think, right now with COVID and with just the way of the world, I think people have been forced into a digital environment. If they weren't already there, they're being forced. They got pushed over the cliff, right?
Indeed, COVID for Growth Institute has been great.
Right.
We've in some things, some of our demand has grown 7 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because they can't get it through the analog ways they used to get it, right? In the past, they would say, oh, I'm going to go to this conference, or I'm going to fly in for this learning event, and I can't do that now.
Now
but
they
my
don't have
team
enough
still
time.
has to move forward, right?
And for me, what has really happened, people had to get forced to do it,
Right.
and now they love it.
Of
A lot
course.
of people, I've been preaching that online education is better than live education in many ways, because as an example, they used to give 2-day workshops, and I gave all scaling up in 2 days.
Right.
And now we give scaling up in 13 weeks.
Right.
So you're able to learn a little bit, go and implement, learn a little, go and implement. You get stuck, then you have a coaching call, you get you unstuck, whatever. So it's a much better process. And people said like, wow, this is amazing. And I'm like, I've been telling you, I've been begging you for 6 years to do it.
Yeah.
You were not used to it. Now that you got used to it.
You know what's funny is if you think of even like television, right? Like they have these television shows where they'll give you, you know, like 8 seasons, and the story goes on and on because they give it to you in small pieces, right, over long periods of time. So people are ingesting content that they're getting used to ingesting content that way. That wasn't how it used to be, right? Yeah. So it only makes sense that learning is going to happen that way as well. And to your point, a 2-day workshop on scaling up, that's like drinking from a fire. I mean, I did it, right? I did it through Birthing of Giants, and then tried to do it by myself. And you're drinking from a fire hose, right? And now they get a community, they get 13 weeks to do it, they get time.
One-on-one calls with a coach to review their 1-page plan. They get mastermind calls. It's crazy how complete the class is.
Yeah, super.
And people say, hey, my implementation went through the roof. And I'm like, yeah.
And let me before we keep going, hey, by the way, guys, look, we got an expert here at many things: entrepreneurism, learning, the Growth Institute. I mean, those books behind you are not just there for fun.
Oh no, I've read the most.
I mean, those are there because this is a guy that takes these books and turns them into courses like crazy. And no, I know that book.
You know that book, right?
Yeah, baby.
That's my list to read. Yoo-hoo! Here it is.
I love it. Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait for that to become a course.
That's my list. So the books, until they read, they don't go here.
Yeah.
So I need to go through them now.
I can't wait. I know it took forever to get through Canadian customs, man.
And with COVID, it's been super slow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Way slower than normal.
Makes sense. But yeah, so you guys ask questions. We have a live stream. This is a live stream. We have a group chats. If you have questions, please send them through. Daniel and I are here to answer your questions.
And when we get some questions, let me talk a little bit about growth mindset.
Sure.
I've been coaching CEOs for 11 years now, and of course now I've been getting calls at 2:00 in the morning, and I've been getting a lot of calls, people asking for help and really struggling with their businesses and all that.
Right.
And for me, what has divided the goods and the bads is the growth mindset. Some entrepreneurs, even though they're entrepreneurs, they don't have a growth mindset. And by the way, they have this imposter syndrome on the back saying, hey, you already did great. Like you're not deserve of all this growth and all that. And that's been challenging them. Or they were saying, hey, I grew up because the economy was blowing up, right? Now the economy is hard and I don't have the tools, or I cannot do it. So we've seen a big change in growth mindset in today. So I really believe it's important that you have a growth mindset. And here is what Dan Sullivan, one of my mentors, taught me. He said, the people have a growth mindset, believe their future is better than their past.
Yeah.
The people that don't have a growth mindset or limited mindset, usually are thinking that the past was better than the future.
Right.
So my question to you, I believe we have the whole decade is going to be a complicated decade. I don't think we're talking about a 6-month thing. I really believe we haven't seen anything yet. I think this is going to get much worse before it gets better. And I still believe the next 10 years are going to be amazing for the entrepreneurs that really have that mindset. And people say, hey, how can you be so negative of the future and be so positive? And I was like, because this is going to clean out a lot of the bad companies. It's going to clean out the weeds. Like every forest gets burned every now and then. Right. And the really big trees that they were having all the water and all the light and everything begin having all the weeds, and the weeds are taking over from the trees. Then you get a fire, all the weeds get out, and now the trees have a lot of energy and water again to continue growing strong.
Right.
So I really believe there was a lot of companies that were not supposed to be in the economy, but they were there because they were venture funded or private equity funded, but they were really not adding any value to the market. So I really believe we needed the change. I think as human beings, we were in a model that was not helping each other. It was not like helping everyone in the market. And we need a new model that is more inclusive. We need a model that it's a more balanced, better model for the world. So we needed a change. And I really believe we're going to be, with all of this pain, we're going to learn how to do it better. Yeah. So I strongly believe we have a much better future moving forward than what we had in the past. And that's a lot of the mindset that we've been seeing in the Growth Institute. The people that have come to learn to the Growth Institute say, hey, this is bad, but it's going to be amazing, the opportunities. Yes. How can you help me have more cash to be able to acquire companies? How can you help me improve my leadership so I could really be a better leader and take my company out of this with less pain? How can I improve tools to be more agile? All these kind of things. It's crazy what people have been finding in their communities with people that think like them around the internet. And that's something we've been finding at the Growth Institute that I'm super, super excited.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And so it's funny, you and I both have had the experience of being in the mortgage industry. And so the mortgage industry is a microcosm of volatility, right? Big highs, big lows. So it's funny as when I see these macro shifts in the world economy, I'm like, oh, this happens in the mortgage industry every 12 months, you know? So what I found was I got to experience these really volatile times consistently over my 20 years in that industry. And what I found was this: a rising tide hides all the dead bodies, right?
Yeah.
And so people can run their business like shit and still make money and do pretty well. And then to your point, when it becomes a tough market, it tests the stronger get stronger and the weaker get out, you know? And I think something else you're touching on that I want to ask you about is, I think that the world is in a really interesting place right now where we have spent, you know, look, I'm 42 years old, and what I've seen is that there's been this metric around profit, but we don't say what type of profit, and we don't say, you know, what expenses came that are maybe not on your financial statement that were real expenses to the world or to the economy or to the other communities. And so I believe that this idea around conscious capitalism, that we are going to start to measure profitability differently, and not just in dollars, but also value all the way around the ecosystem. And I think that it will take what you're talking about, that people are going to, I'm going to say this, I'll say it once, I'll say it a million times. I believe that core value driven, mission driven, and vision driven organizations will crush the next 10 years.
100%. 100%. Before, it was who had the most money.
Yep.
I think money is very important, but I really believe people are going to value stakeholder values, why, relationships, and that's going to be more important moving forward. You could spend a lot of cash to if you have a hole or a mistake in your company, you could cover it with money, but you could not be a winner long term if you don't have that. If you don't have the core values, if you don't have the mindset, you don't have the leadership to do it right. Hey, we're seeing it with, as an example, WeWork. WeWork was amazingly successful company, like brilliantly successful company, right?
Right.
They're being crushed in today's world, destroyed after COVID. Uber, amazing company, right? Really bad leadership. They're suffering it now. Facebook is getting attacked very aggressively. It's a very strong company, one of the most powerful companies in the world. They're getting crushed for not following good core values and really defending their community and their users. So I completely agree. Moving forward is going to be a way that users are going to figure out, community is going to figure out, and they're going to reward you. And indeed, one of the things that I tell more of my clients, watch out the way you treat your employees in bad times. They will remember in 5 years.
Oh yeah.
The ones you treat bad because you fire them or whatever, they will remember. but the ones that stayed are going to remember how you behave with the other ones. And that's hugely important.
I think you just hit the nail on the head. People, it's the ones that stay that you need to worry about, because to your point, they are going to see your true colors. And it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to eat it on your side. It's about communication. It's about leadership. It's about being transparent, and it's about elevating people. To your point, this is a growth mindset. I say we have a choice: abundance or scarcity, and you get to choose. You're like, it's your choice. But people are going to remember how you made them feel, and when things got tough. We got a question that just came in, and I want to run it by you because I know that we're running near the end of the hour. Do you want to answer what I just said, and then we'll jump to the question?
What's the question again? The
question is, as a new entrepreneur,
yep,
how do you strengthen and cultivate a growth mindset? So you got someone that's inexperienced. How do they do that?
So first, embrace change. When the typical sorry, Brian's calling me. I had a couple of calls with Brian already. Looks like he needs something. So I'll call him in 5 minutes when we finish. So whatever you have in life, you could see it as a problem or a challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
A challenge, you're excited for the challenge. You're excited to get it done. You're excited to get better.
Right.
On the other side, if you have a problem, you don't want it. A problem, you want to take it away. The only difference, if you see something as a problem or a challenge, is your mindset.
Right.
Like, as an example, if we have 100 people on the call today, if I said, you have to run a marathon on Friday, if not, I'm going to kill you or whatever, right? Half of the people would say like, woohoo, I have to run a marathon. And they will be super excited they have to run a marathon, right? And the other half will say like, oh my God, I can't run a marathon. It's going to be impossible. Right. It's all about mindset. So embrace change. That's super important. Second, become self-aware. It's really important to be self-aware of what's going on, to really be able to attack things.
Right.
Say, hey, this is a problem, but I know it's an issue. I'm going to get out strong. I'm going to use this to come out better. My competitors are going to go under, blah, 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 and just focus on the future. That's really, really important. Third, disrupt yourself. When the mortgage crisis, you and I are mortgage guys, in 2008, I went under. I lost a lot of capital. It was really painful. And I was miserable with myself. I was blaming everyone and all that. And my father wrote me a letter. And I think it was brilliant what my father said. My father said, Daniel, life gives you very few opportunities to learn fast. And it's giving you a great opportunity. But you have so much pain that you're not willing to learn from the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So I embrace that we talk about it and we really put it on the table and we learn from that. And man, one of my most transformative times in life is then. So you have to be self-aware and you have to be open to disrupt and change. And then focus on the process. Like, I know that we're going to come out great in 10 years from now, but I don't know how I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Right.
But I'm going to follow a process. If I trust the process, I'm going to do great. Marcus Lemonis, I don't know if you've seen The Profit, the program on CNBC.
Yeah. I love that show.
He always tells the entrepreneur, trust the process. Like, if you focus on giving a great product to clients and price and all, you're going to do great. Right. Just follow the process. There's already a lot of great process in the world that you have to follow. As an example, scaling up. I think it's an amazing process. I've been using scaling up for 20 years as an entrepreneur, and I've implemented in other companies for 11 years.
Right.
When an entrepreneur trusts the process, they just follow it. And they say like, wow, this is amazing. And they're very thankful. And I said, hey, don't thank me. Thank Vern, the process is great. And thank you because you trust the process.
Yeah.
Because most entrepreneurs sabotage the implementation because in the middle, something goes wrong and they don't trust the process.
Right.
So you have to always believe that life's going to take care of you if you do the right things. If you have good core values and you're a good leader, that you care about your people, you're always delivering a great product for your client, like, you're going to do great.
Yeah.
If you're trying to cut corners, you're trying to pay the least that you can to your employees, don't care about their happiness or freedom and all that, and you try to screw your client for money without really understanding their value, life is going to be hard. I always believe life is easy and hard, depending on what do you want before. If I make life easy for myself, I drink all the time, don't study, don't save, don't make exercise, life's going to be really hard after.
Right.
If I study, save, read, like I'm trying to be a good person, all that, life's going to be great after.
Right.
So same thing happens with the growth mindset. The ones that are willing to do the work now, trust the process, learn, be open, be coachable, they're going to do great after. So I really believe that's my philosophy. And for me, part of that, it's trusting the process. Trusting that if you do things well, life is going to pay you well.
Yeah.
It's going to return good things to you.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love what your father said to you. That just hit home for me personally. I've had a lot of learning in the last 12 months. Friend. Look, we're coming near the end of the hour here, or the end of the show. You know, speaking of growth mindset, there's two things I want to end on here. First of all, is there any books that I mean, obviously you're the man on the books. Is there any books you recommend that are best for teaching growth mindset?
The thing is, there's a lot for stuff. The coach that I've learned the most about growth mindset is being Dan Sullivan. And Dan Sullivan has a book of the Loss of Lifetime Growth. I think this is really good.
Okay.
Loss of Lifetime Growth. Okay. I think it's really, really good. But then Dan has a lot of small ones. So as an example, this one. How the best get better.
Okay.
I think it's an amazing tool that helps you go through the process and really trust the process.
Very cool.
And then a lot of like Eater Seeds Last. I love Eater Seeds Last.
Yeah, that's a great book.
It's a great book. That has really shown a lot. And for me, the best for process is Scaling Up.
Yeah.
Scaling Up has significantly changed the way I run my companies.
Yes.
And has given me way more confidence of how I run my company.
Yes, I'm with you 110%. Scaling Up is a game changer. And thank you for sharing the Dan Sullivan stuff. And look, with that note, I know you got a tight stop here.
Call again.
Daniel, where can our viewers find you? And
Growth Institute. That's our company, growthinstitute.com. And we have a okay, I need to cover it. At the Growth Institute, we have a program called The Edge, and we'll give, I think it's 15 days free to everyone. We give you access to 50 or 60 courses that you could learn a lot in 1-hour videos from the thought leader directly.
Cool. Well, my friend, I appreciate this so much. Thank you for coming on the show. And you guys go check out the Growth Institute. Daniel, you the man. Looking forward to catching up with you soon. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Bye, Darius. Thank you.